Last in a row, but not with less pleasure. It's my role as director of the Hunterian to welcome you to Glasgow, welcome to the university here. And I remember really well in 2016 when we did organize Universeum in Amsterdam, David Gamester, my predecessor here, came to me and he said, like, what does it really involve, organizing Universeum? And I warned him that actually it was a lot of work. And actually, I think on the last day there's always the AMG of Universeum, and I think in Amsterdam and our colleagues from Utrecht, we were sitting back, kind of relaxing, thinking our job is done, not realizing that I would stand here 2 years later. And the British understatement would say, actually, yes, it's been quite a bit of work, and it has been. Many things have already been said, so we'll skip those. The one thing Sebastian said already, the driving force behind this conference has been Maria Economou. Besides her normal jobs as a curator at the Hunterian and a lecturer in the Department of Museum Studies, would have been a disaster without her, with a good humor, her energy. So thank you very, very much. She's mentioned many of the staff members who've supported us, so I won't do that again. But I would like to thank the board of Universeum, as always. It is a warm and inclusive community, so it's great to be a part of it. Need to mention that we actually received financial support because, as you know, Universeum is free, but I mean we have some expenditure, to put it mildly. So David Duncan, who already ran off, was kindly enough to give us some money from the general funds of the university. We got some support from the School of Humanities Incentivization Fund. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Lynn Abrams. And from the International Partnership Development Fund. Thank you, Jim Conroy. Universeum has supported the pre-conference workshops with travel grants for a whole number of the participants. And you've heard about Humis's contributions to both the Cayley and the post-conference tours. So Glasgow is an interesting place, as I've found out in the past year or so. The higher education is a big industry here, with multiple universities, but first and foremost amongst them is the University of Glasgow. Museums play a very important role in the self-image of the city. And as you will hear from our keynote speaker, Mark O'Neill, the city's museums played a strong role in the regeneration of the city in past decades and have a meaningful social role in for Glasgow's citizens. The Hunterian, although Scotland's oldest public museum, it exists since 1807, is a bit the odd one out, as most of the museums here are from the city. And last year we received about 200,000 visitors to the Hunterian, which is a very substantial number, but it's nothing compared to the footfall that the museums of the city get. Part, of course, of our commitment is to the academics and to the students here at the university. And in our first year in this place, in Kelvin Hall, we received about 2,400 students who've worked with about 4,000 objects in the last year. And that number is rising. We also dealt with about 1,500 research requests, many of which involved objects from our collection. The facilities here in Kelvin Hall, including this lecture theatre, make all of that possible. And they are the fruit of the collaboration between Glasgow Life, the city's organisation for culture and sports, hence the gym and the collections at the same place. But we also work together here with the National Library of Scotland. Maria mentioned it already. And recently we've started the development of an even more ambitious project, which is to move all the Hunterian's museum displays also into Kelvin Hall, because only 40% of the building has been developed, 60%, 9,500 square meters, are still sitting empty. And what we want to do is to create the most innovative new museum experience in the UK and maybe beyond. And we will do that with a host of partners. And first and foremost, Glasgow Museums, with whom we've just agreed extreme cooperation in the development of the next phases. It will probably take at least 5 years to develop this, lots of fundraising, and Professor Murray Pittock, the Vice Principal for special projects at the University of Glasgow and who will introduce Mark O'Neill to you, will say more about this. So I leave you with the expectation that we will have a fantastic week, filled to the brim with interesting, thought-provoking, collegial, fun and other content. And now it's time for more serious stuff, and I gladly give the floor to Professor Murray Pitter.